The three most important values I believe I demonstrate as a leader are the fact that I am easily approachable, I can adapt to any situation, and I can take responsibility for my actions. In many cases, things don't always go the way you plan, and you need to be able to change direction quickly to make the most of the situation. This happens with me a lot, whether it be in school, work, or just life in general, and many times I will have to change my original plan to meet the ones in the new goal. Whether it was my fault or not, the original plans got changed, and I know being a leader, you have to step up and take responsibility and then figure out a new way to handle the situation. 2. If you were to ask my peers about my leadership style, I believe they would say I'm a natural born leader. When no one has stepped up to take the leadership role on a task, I will try and step up and get the job done best of my ability. They would say that one of my strengths is being able to listen to everyone's ideas and opinions to create the best result. They would say that one of my weaknesses would be that sometimes the stress of things can become overwhelming. This is something that I've noticed in myself and have been working on to fix and work through. When scheduling my time for projects and tasks, I tend to try and plan out first the due dates of everything so that I know what is due first. Once I have figured out, I plan what needs to be done each day in order to keep on track and make sure everything gets completed on time. Even though one of my tasks may be due sooner, I may work on a larger task that is due in the future so that it does not all pile up at once. For example, while at school, midterms and finals week tend to become very busy and stressful, but I know if I plan everything out and farther in advance, it helps relieve some of the stress that comes with school. During the fall semester, I had some communication difficulties with one of my supervisors at work. From the time I was a junior in high school, I have always had a fairly busy schedule with school and extracurricular activities, so I have found that it is easiest to print off a schedule of the whole month or even 2 months in advance and cross off all the days that I can't work to make it easier for my supervisors to see. My supervisor ended up scheduling me to work all the days I needed off and gave me all days off that I could work. I spoke with her about it, and she assured me she would fix it and that it wouldn't happen again. Unfortunately, it ended up happening for many weeks after speaking with her, and after every time that it happened, I spoke with her again. Eventually, my school schedule became less hectic, and slowly the problem seemed to fade away. There was still a communication issue that never seemed to be resolved, but I felt that I had done my best to attempt to fix the situation. 5. At the beginning of the semester, I was voted Phi Sigma Sigma's very first Sisterhood Social Chair. This was a brand new position to our chapter, so I did not have anyone before me to help me if I got lost or had any questions. Having this position allowed me to step up and become a leader of all the 90 girls in my sorority. It was my job to plan bonding events for all of the chapter that everyone liked and have fun with, but that wasn't easy at times. If not everyone was pleased, then many girls would not show up, which would make it very difficult for everyone to bond with each other. Many of the events I planned turned out positively, and even if a lot of the girls did not show up, the feedback I got from the girls who were there allowed me to grow in my position and to take the constructive criticism and grow as a person. 6. Through the past year of working, I have found that sometimes it is hard for members of my work team to be able to listen to their supervisors or authority figures. Where I am currently employed, many student workers can be promoted to supervisors, where they then become in charge of the student workers. In one case, a student worker was promoted to a supervisor, but many of the other student workers were not able to make the transition to see him as their now supervisor. This made it difficult for the supervisor to do his job because the student workers were not able to make the transition of respecting him as their supervisor. In this case, the student who was promoted was a friend of mine, but I firmly believe that even if your friend is a supervisor, you still have to be respectful to them and listen to the tasks they assign you. Supervisors are there because the manager saw that they would be able to become a leader and take charge of other students. 7. I have found that motivation is the key to keep people, including myself, on track for assigned tasks. If someone is stressed, tired, or even simply does not want to work on their assigned tasks, this can make it hard for them to complete the said task. A positive attitude and a smile can sometimes make the job easier. I have found that a simple "good job" or "keep doing what you're doing great" can make the world of difference for me. 8. While at work one day this past semester, I attempted to make a suggestion on how to make a certain task easier, and when I gave my suggestion to my coworker, they immediately shot down my answer. Now, I've had my ideas passed over in the past, but this coworker spoke very negatively and rudely of my idea. I have no problem with people not using my ideas, but it was the way in which the coworker responded that made me uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable with the situation because I felt very looked down upon by my coworker. My coworker had a very negative attitude, which made it difficult for them to work with them, but I just kept reminding myself that negativity will not make the job any easier or better, and sometimes you have to just keep pushing through the job.